This right here is often referred to as the scariest image of space ever taken. It's the first ever untethered spacewalk performed by the astronaut Bruce McCandless II in 1984. This image just truly fills you with that cosmic dread and puts in perspective how fragile the human life really is, and really how insignificant we are in the grand scheme of everything. And there's actually a video of this event happening that NASA uploaded on their YouTube channel that is even more frightening than the picture. And this is just such a vulnerable position to be in, floating out in the void with nothing connecting you to safety. It is terrifying. It is petrifying. Makes me damn near piss my pants. But then at the same time, it's an amazing achievement. But in my opinion, this isn't the scariest image of space ever taken. I think it gets far more terrifying. But to get there, we have to zoom out. And not just this far to see the Earth, we have to zoom out much, much further to get to here. And you're probably looking at this picture saying, Derek, what the hell? How is this scary? You know, this is just a blank picture of space. Well, you get those binoculars out, those magnifying glasses, and zoom in real close to that little dot right there, that is the Earth. This image was taken from the Voyager 1 space probe back in 1990 while it was doing its adventuring through the cosmos. And this, to me, is the scariest image ever taken in outer space because it genuinely just shows how small we are when it comes to the universe, how insignificant, how utterly meaningless life on this floating space rock has to be, because we don't even make up a pixel on a picture taken from a space probe. Like that is petrifying. Like that picture of the first untethered spacewalk gives you a perspective of a human in comparison to the Earth, but this gives you a comparison of the Earth to the universe, which is a much, much more frightening comparison. And the reason I'm talking about all these spooky, scary space things is because I'm going into the topic of astrophobia, which is the extreme fear of all things pertaining to outer space. So the people that have this, every time they see a star or a moon or a planet, they get jump scared. They go, whoo, oh golly, whoo. It's like SpongeBob when he screams and his eyelashes start screaming and everything. That's how they react. So today I wanted to go over the scariest things when it comes to space to cover the topic of astrophobia. And now I don't have astrophobia. I think all of these images that we've looked at so far are much more intriguing and interesting than they are frightening. But at the same time, I definitely understand how people can be absolutely shit their pants scared of outer space. Because it's the fear of the unknown. And the unknown is absolutely horrific. But let's take a trip back to our solar system and take a look at the Neptune approach from the Voyager 2 spacecraft. There is a time lapse of this happening, and it is just maybe one of the most unsettling videos that I've ever seen. I'm going to play it in 2x speed because it is a very slow video, and I'm also going to skip a bit. But you can see as the Voyager 2 continues to approach, you can see Neptune also, you know, rotating on its axis all the while. And there's something so terrifying, so weirdly ominous, and off-putting, unsettling about this video, this time-lapse of images from the Voyager 2 as it's approaching Neptune for its flyby. It just doesn't quite set right with you, and it honestly feels like part of an ARG. And this image here of Neptune's approach is even more haunting because it's in black and white, and it's just much more low quality. And it's apparently from 35 million miles away. And that distance is another terrifying aspect of space. Besides the fact that it is completely uninhabitable, the fact that it is unfathomably large is another aspect that will make you have night terrors. And now this is a picture of a black hole. Not a butthole, but a black hole. This is the first ever real image of a black hole after they had speculated and made some like calculations as to what it would look like. Not too long ago, we actually got the real first image of a black hole. And before we had this image, black holes were already terrifying because we know them as these things that just eat up everything. Literally anything that goes into a black hole is gone. Gravity is so strong in black holes that not even light can escape from them. And that explains itself as to why it's scary. But also there's speculation as to what happens in black holes, and that can get even more scary. Is there nothing on the other side? Is there something on the other side? And now you may think that the only scary things when it comes to space are the sights that you can see, but there's also some sounds. You know, space, I believe for the most part, is said to be silent, but recently NASA came out and captured some digital data from telescopes and translated it into musical notes and sounds to give space a sound. So apparently space sounds like knockoff versions of Minecraft CDs that you can play in those jukeboxes. But that gives you another angle to be scared of space from, because you can hear that bellowing sound that sounds like it's coming from the celestial ancient ones, like Cthulhu or something out there, making that guttural groaning noise. But then also it gets real loud and upbeat and high-pitched during the bright parts of the galaxies, and all of it, while very fascinating, is also frightening to think that, that those sounds are emitting from space. And on top of everything else I've shown you that can be seen as scary regarding space, first and foremost, you got to remember that space is a hostile environment, for humans at least. Humans aren't meant to be in space. And then there's the whole entire Fermi paradox that you could get into. You know, is there other life out there? Are we the only life in the universe? Or is the universe full of life? Both options are equally as terrifying. If the universe is teeming with life, that's pretty scary, because it could be like a dark forest situation. They haven't seen us yet, but once they do discover us, they'll eliminate us, because they'll see us as a potential threat in the future, and it's best to be safe than sorry. But then at the same time, if we are alone in the universe and there is nothing else out there, that might be even more terrifying, because why us? What makes us so special to exist in this vast, infinite space with nothing around except for us? And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to go over astrophobia and talk about some of the things I find scariest when it comes to space, because I love space. I think it's beautiful, it's intriguing, it's awesome, but at the same time, it is terrifying.